Well, super agent enters Gyökeres to Arsenal transfer discussions, and this story is really looking like it's happening because this is the same guy that is keeping us updated about these stories. He might be looking like a fourth-tier journalist, but I tell you what, in this era, a story can come from any side that you don't really think is really going to be coming up from. And I tell you, sources from Portugal are so much onto this deal, and it looks like Arsenal have gone ahead, obviously find themselves in a position of really making up their mind that their next striker should be Viktor Gyökeres. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. It's much like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and it's really hard to obviously come in through and discuss such a deal to the people who really know that the only person who breaks stories is either David Austin or Fabrizio Romano. And in this era, we have to admit that sources can come, all stories can come from different sources, and have to bring them to you. And after, we'll have to obviously let you know what our clear thoughts are about them, and you also go into the comment section and tell us what you think about them. Guys, continue to subscribe to this channel because we want to hit the magic number. That magic number is 21,800, because right now we are having 21,700 and we are left with some 80 subscribers to hit 21,800. So guys, continue to subscribe, and I know by the end of today would have gone obviously hit that magic number of really 21,800 as we clock the magic number of that is going to be reading 22,000 into the mix. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly, right? So let's obviously start it off with a story that was broken I think like 2 days back. I think the 21st, those are 2 days back, by Leonino, telling us that Arsenal are about to secure the signing of Sporting CP striker Viktor Gyökeres for below his £100 million release clause. The clubs agreed on a fixed amount of 90 million euros, which may rise to 120 million euros after add-ons based on goals, Champions League appearances and trophies. Now, this guy looks like is really a close horse to the side of Sporting Lisbon, right? And that's why he's really trying to obviously let us know about the situation. That at first, Arsenal have gone ahead obviously agree this deal, and after agreeing this deal, now they've gone ahead to obviously find themselves in a position of really wanting to obviously break it down to where they believe it should really end. But it looks like Gyökeres, is really doing great. And this guy is from Portugal and is Sporting News. Now, today, we've gotten a big story from Portugal after that story was reported, I think like 2 days back. And obviously, Lenino, the same guy, has told us that Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon are finalizing the payment structure for Gyökeres. The Gunners wish to pay over 4 years, but Sporting allowing the fee to be below the 100 million euro release clause at 90 million euros, 1-3 payments of 30 million euros in 2024, 2025, 2026. Jorge Mendes is meditating. So, after agreeing on a payment that Arsenal is going to be paying 90 million euros, the side of Sporting Lisbon wants this money to be paid in 3 portions. You get? Now, if you talk about 3 years, that means Arsenal will be like in the first quarter, like for example, they will be like, we are going to get you like 30 million euros now. You get? Then in the first quarter of 2025, we'll get you like 15. They can say that Arsenal can be like in every year, like 2025, every quarter, we are going to be getting you maybe, because a year has how many quarters? The year has 4 quarters. I think 3 quarters. From January to March. From March, it has 4 quarters. So they might divide 30 million euros divided by 4 for the second year. and they'll be like 30 divided by 4. They tell them every quarter you're going to be paying you like 8 million euros. You understand? Meaning that they'll be having portions of payment. I think it's not bad business. But for me, what I was going to hit obviously hold my my brain to obviously come in to obviously broadcast this story is Jorge Mendes meditating this deal. Jorge Mendes is a super agent, and you've gone ahead to say to it that he has gone ahead to negotiate very many deals of players coming in from Portugal to join the side of the Premier League, right? And he has gone ahead to negotiate very many deals, and I'm going to be really coming in here to let you know which deals this man has gone ahead to negotiate in his powers to see to it that these players coming through to obviously join. Now, the same guy, Leonino, continued and told us that Jorge Mendes is acting as an intermediary to bring Viktor Gyökeres to Arsenal. That deal, according to sources, is close to being completed after negotiations had advanced and rapidly in recent days, and it is expected that there will be news by the end of the month. Now, very many people are not really believers in what we call these third or fourth tier journalists. But I tell you, if you go back to the story of Fabio Vieira, right? The story of Fabio Vieira, Portuguese sources were obviously putting out stories that Arsenal is closing in on Fabio Vieira, and we are snubbing them, having it in mind that it's only Fabrizio Romano, David Austin, Sammy McBell, you can talk about Di Marzio, Matt Lowe, who really have what we call credible information about such deals. But Fabrizio Romano, Broke Here We Go, and David Austin, and the deal got completed. But these other sources coming in from Portugal had already gone ahead to obviously start letting us know what is really happening. And we are snubbing them, meaning that we had a mind block into our minds. And this summer transfer window, I went ahead to obviously change everything. If a source is coming in through from the sides of Portugal, I'll come out and give it respect, because it might be the silent as the deal of Fabio Vieira was. You remember, the man negotiating the deal of Fabio Vieira to Arsenal was Jorge Mendes. You understand? And is the same man behind this deal negotiating the Viktor Gyökeres deal to obviously come to Arsenal. So let's wait and see how true this story is, and we will obviously exonerate this person. For everyone who believes that he's not really a first-tier journalist, I tell you what, he might be having a very credible source where he's getting in this information, because you can't tell me that he's keeping on putting in these stories when there is nothing happening. There is a lot happening. And ask yourself, why is it that when Arsenal was linked to Benjamin Sesko, we are not getting in stories from Portugal linking Gyökeres to the side of Arsenal? Everything was dead silent. Why is it that after Viktor Gyökeres coming in through, why is it that Benjamin Sesko telling the world that he's going to be staying at RB Leipzig, why is it that we've now gotten stories that are really concurrently coming in through, flowing in from Portugal concerning Gyökeres? So there is something happening. There is something happening, and he's telling us that something is going to be announced towards the end of the month. And if you know, when the deals of Kai Havertz and if you can really remember very well, when the deals of Kai Havertz were really announced, let me check here. Let me really look for the date. Fabrizio Romano, right? Havertz. Here we go. When was it announced? I really want to get to know. The here we go of Kai Havertz came in through on the 21st of June 2023. That was the first signing that Arsenal made, but he was announced way after. He was announced in July, by the way, that he's going to be joining the side of Arsenal. Let's go to Declan Rice. The here we go of Declan Rice was announced on June 30th. You understand? So Arsenal looks like they want to do these here we goes towards the end of the month, such that they really get these deals done officially and announced in July. And they obviously want to sign players into the beginnings of the new financial year, not in the old financial year. So Arsenal really speeding up these discussions, and we might see lots of things really happening. That is all about Viktor Gyökeres. This guy is going to obviously join the conversations and the discussions to bring him to Arsenal. And remember, if you're to talk about Bruno Fernandes coming to Manchester United, he was not his agent, but he negotiated his deal to come to Manchester United. You understand? And that would have been the biggest question coming in from people, that how come a person who is not an agent of a player is part of the negotiations? Some agents don't have the experience to negotiate big deals, and that's why this guy obviously comes in through to negotiate such big deals. So he has done it for very many players that have gonna hit obviously coming through and really join the side of the Premier League, especially when the players are really coming in through from Portugal. You know, I think he was also a little bit involved into the deal of Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea, and you saw Nani coming to Manchester United because of him. He was the agent of Nani. Same applies to Ronaldo, his agent. And he has gone ahead to bring very many Portuguese players to the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers, because Wolves had at a certain point become what we call the hot spot, or the breeding ground for Portuguese teams, because for Portuguese players, especially under Nuno Espirito. And even if you look at their squad right now, they're really having very many Portuguese in there for you, and it looks like Jorge Mendes is doing a very good job. Ruben Neves was the agent of Ruben Neves, and we wait to see how this is going to happen. And him having gone ahead obviously act well with Arsenal, the deal of Fabio Vieira, there is some good blood in between these two camps, and we anticipate that the best is yet to come from these two sides. So go into the comment section, tell me about your thoughts about super agent Jorge Mendes enters Gyökeres to Arsenal transfer discussions. What do you make about it, and what do you think is really gonna come out of this? And the source is not all the legit source that you guys have always gonna hate to know, but I've told you that in 2022, when Arsenal was announcing its official signing as Fabio Vieira, we snapped stories from Portugal linking Fabio Vieira to the side of Arsenal. But right now, we're not going to snap such sources. And I've always told you that look at Turkey. You know, I've gone ahead to see very many sources linking Kodioglu to the club of Arsenal, the bid with him put in, and none of those people have gone ahead obviously report it, as far as Austin, all Fabrizio Romano, all Sami Mekbel. But I tell you, Turkey is really having credible information. That is it. You remember Serge Boy? Lastly, Serge Boy, when he went to the side of Bayern Munich and he was asked on whether Arsenal was really in for him, he said it was a fact. Arsenal was in for him. And remember what Turkish sources were obviously telling us during the summer, that Serge Boy to Arsenal was really very close. Not so. And Serge Boy later confirmed that the deal fell through because Arsenal went ahead obviously find a deal of Julian Timber better suitable for him to play into the Premier League. You know? So these sources, I don't really doubt them anymore. Let's wait and see, but it looks like Arsenal is back for Viktor Gyökeres, and he's doing great. And do you think Jorge Mendes will obviously help Arsenal negotiate this deal to completion and really see Viktor Gyökeres become the other player to play for the club of Arsenal? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David is my name. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum to the Christians. We cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out.